My name is Tony, and I'm the owner and operator of Sunset Spokes. I'm a mobile bicycle, e-bike, and e-scooter mechanic. I get asked a lot, what essential tools, what tools can I start out with to start working on bicycles? Most of the work is done with actually just a set of Allen wrenches. And when people think of bicycle mechanics and tools, they think park tools. And park tools are awesome tools, very high quality, respect correctly as far as sizes compared to generic, cheaper tools like you find on Amazon. I've put calipers to them, and a lot of them are a little undersized, whereas park are just spot on. So the tools I recommend from top to bottom, like my favorite tools that I would recommend purchasing from Park, because they're great value at a price point. Because Park tools are normally pretty expensive. Two I recommend are these three-way tools from Park, the AWS-1 and the AWS-3. So you have a total of 6 sizes here, which will do a majority of work on a bicycle. You got everything from a 2mm all the way up to a 6mm. The one actually you do use the most is the AWS-1, which is a 4, 5, and 6mm. These run about $15. What I like about them is that you get a great hand purchase for loosening very tight bolts. You could also have to be very careful. You could over tighten bolts with these things, but I love these things. The only downside to these tools is the effective size of them. It's about 7 inches or so. So getting in tight spots, it may be a little difficult. Now they do sell a 3-way ball end. In all my years of wrenching, I've never used it. Because again, the effective size of it and where you have to angle them doesn't really work. Second is, you never really want to untorque something that's really tight with a ball end or torque something really tight with a ball end. So I don't recommend the ball end one, just get these two. The other one I recommend, as far as a 3-way, is a Torx. This is also great. This one here. This is the TWS3. This has also the most popular size Torx sizes. You got a T30, T25, and a T10. Great, also nice purchase on something to really undo something, or we want to tighten something pretty good. Just be careful not to over tighten things. Second on the list, as far as essential tools, I get from Park. Now these range about $16 retail. Great price for what you get. Then I recommend this one by Park Tool. This is the HXS-1-1.2. This you get sizes from a 1.5mm all the way to a 10mm. Again, great quality. You get a ball end on this size except for the 10, but you get a ball end on the long side, square and on the shorter sides. What I like about these, other than their great quality, is that you can work in tighter spaces because of the short end here to really undo something. Then at an angle with the ball end, you could, loosen it or snug something up, and then with the shorter end, with the square end, torque it down. Again, I think this set is about $35 retail. Great value for the money there. The other one I recommend, what is it? Third on the list is this set of Torx wrenches. This one you get from, let me make sure I get it correctly here, a T40 all the way down to a T9 sizes. If you're doing a lot of stuff with SRAM, they like Torx. This is a great set, again from Park. I recommend it. It's great value for the money, not very expensive. Those are the ones I recommend right off the bat for any mechanic wanting to start off with some tools. Now, what's very popular, especially among shops, is the P-handle wrenches. I actually have a holder here, but the P-handle wrenches from Park are quite expensive. For the sets, for the set, including the holders, I think $113. So what I do is I just bought an inexpensive set of P-handle. These are different from T-handle. A T-handle has an equal distance on this side here. You can see a P-handle has a shorter distance on one side. This allows you to get a little bit closer, you know, a little bit tighter spots in certain spaces. You also have a ball end here, short end here. This allows you to really undo things. Now, buyer beware. With this set, I've mic'd it. This is slightly, by fractions of a millimeter, undersized compared to Park. So just be aware of that. I mean, you might get an expensive set that's much better, much closer to Park. These ones, buyer beware. So what I did with this one, I actually took it to a bench grinder. The end was a little bit too round, whereas a Park is very square. It has just the slightest bevel. These ones had this great gigantic bevel, so didn't offer a lot of surface area once it was inside the bowl. So I took a bench grinder, ground that down till it was very square, then just sort of took a file to it to get any burrs off. Also, the ball end was really tall, whereas the Park ball end is actually very narrow compared to what this was. So I also took that ball end to the bench grinder, flattened it out just a little bit. I could still get it at an angle, could still, you know, loosen something or snug something up just fine. But just beware that with an expensive set, the quality's just not there as far as sizing compared to a Park. I do like the Park holder because of all my years of wrenching, I'm just used to this layout. So I can just reach for a side. I know where they're at. I'm not hunting for what I need. So that's the majority of work on a bike. Now, also get a set of wrenches, quality wrenches here. When you're working on e-bikes, especially class 2, class 3 e-bikes, where you'd use a wrench anywhere from a 15 millimeter all the way up to a 19 millimeter. So get a good quality set of wrenches because you don't want to round out those bolts on the axle nuts. What else? Cone wrenches. People ask me about cone wrenches as starting out, especially if you can do hubs. I mean, if you're not doing something that's sealed bearing, where you're using a cone and a race. The only 3 sizes I use on cone wrenches is a 13, 15, and 17 mil. Now you could get the whole range of cone wrenches if you want. They're expensive for what they are. I do like the Park ones again, but I only get 3 sizes. If I was to get more, I'll just double up on them. I get 2 13 millimeter, 2 15 millimeter, 2 17 millimeters. And even the 17 millimeters, I don't use all that often. I actually use a wrench for the 17 mil. For the actual race, I use, or for the cone, I use 13 and 15 mostly. So, but if you want to get the whole set of cone wrenches, go for it. Then you've got some screwdrivers. Just get any quality set of screwdrivers. I like the black tip with oxidized, or it doesn't slip as much. So those are just cheap screwdrivers. Phillips, flat, different sizes. Also small jewelry size ones. I use tire levers. I used a number of tire levers throughout the years. And the ones that I find the best by far are the ones by PEDROS. These ones, they're inexpensive, like $6 a pair. They are the best tire levers, better than any Park tire levers I've ever used. I do use some of the metal Park ones when I'm working with scooters, but as far as most tire work, I use these. And for some reason, I don't even use 2. I just use 1. I could break the bead with 1 and just use that to just swing it around and tire comes right off. I don't know what magic they use to make it slide so well, but it's not like these are indestructible. I have broken a few of these, but compared to some of the other ones, even Park, These are very strong, very useful. The other thing I recommend is a chain tool. I've used a number of chain tools, and the one I always go back to and trust is the Park tool. Now this is a little bit pricey. This is the CT-3.3. Great chain tools, the one I trust. Like I said, I used a number of different chain tools throughout the years. This one is the best. It is priced about $55 retail. If you can't afford that one, the one I use a lot, well, mostly on the trail, and it's even good for shop work. It's also a Park tool. It's a CT-5. It's small but mighty, and this has saved me so many times to get me back to the trailhead after breaking a chain or something going wrong. And this has saved my butt so many times to get me back to the trailhead. And it's cheap, and it's just as I wouldn't hesitate to use it for shop use. Still, I use the 3.3, but in a pinch, that one would work. So that's the majority of tools. I mean, I can go through all the tools, but just for this video, just the essential tools of what you kind of want and need. That's it right there. If you have any suggestions or what you suggest as your perfect tools to just start off at wrenching bikes, let me know. Comment below. And have a good one. Bye.